Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you're doing well this evening. Figured I'd go live on YouTube here. I'm just going to make some pots that I have to make for an order, so hope you have a good time watching. Tonight I'm making a batch of these, what I call footed herb pots. I have an order for them and I gotta make a few. Tonight I'm making from my father's studio, where the store is, where we both share our retail space. Figured it'd be a nice quiet night in the shop. Or if you can see that. There's my name and a number which indicates the poundage of wet clay used. Putting them all off to the side on long boards. These last few, or a couple I guess so far, have been 4-pound pieces of clay. I have one more 4-pound piece of clay to go after this one, and then a batch of 2-pound pots that I need to make. So this is more of a squat pot, or as we refer to them as half pots, as the English would say, but they're squat. Just meaning that the clay could have went up about this tall and been that wide instead of being so wide. So the more you put into it, and sometimes with the foot I have on here, I just have to clean it up a bit. My little cutter tool that I made. That way it's nice and smooth when I flip these over when they dry. Hopefully tomorrow or tomorrow night. And I have my name, so you guys know who made the thing. And then the number, which indicates the poundage of what clay used, and it's also my pricing system. And these actually will be going to a store that I sell to. I sell to about 36 stores or something like that. I can't even keep track anymore, but yeah, a lot of these are going to a store, and then if they don't go to stores, then they will be available at the shop here. But this batch that I'm making tonight is going to a really nice store in Brooklyn, New York, called Garden, or abbreviated GRDN, which Suzanne has been such a good friend and a long time buyer of my pots. I think she started carrying my pots in 2003, maybe 2004, something like that. Wow, so that's 20 years ago. I'm dating myself here. Wow, everything's flying by, right? If you guys have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below. And if you don't mind hitting that like button, it always helps. I hate to even ask you guys to do that stuff. It's so corny in my mind. But it does seem to help. So, and thank you for anybody who's watching right now. Usually have music blaring or a podcast going, something going on when I'm making pots. At least over here. At home I usually make in silence. But over here it's usually loud music. But I will get a copyright strike if I have any music going in the background here, so I don't want to do that. Moving a little bit slower than normal. I worked all day today and I already did a bunch of these, so. And I ran the store, so usually I fly through these a lot quicker, so tonight's a lazy night. A lazy Saturday night. You guys probably saw that little piece that needs to be cleaned up. I know what I mean. Okay, I know I needed 4 of those, so I am on to 2 pounders. I know I need 20 of those. I need 4 of these, I need a 22 pounder, so I don't know if I'll get to all 20 tonight, but who knows, I might. This is just like leftover clay you see me using here. This is like a bit of wet clay, that just scrap clay, but it's very good for using as a glue to attach the clay that I'm going to be throwing with to the wooden bat or false bottom that I'm using. So. You hear that pop, you can tell some of the clay I've been getting lately is really hard, so those little pops are some air bubbles or inconsistencies. My dad has a pug mill here, but I said I was going to go live at 9:30, so I really didn't have time to pug out the clay, so I'm just throwing it off the clay that comes with it. Or, I'm sorry, the stick that comes the way it is. So these ones actually have to be the taller version. The last pots were squat pots. And these ones are just the full size, which usually means equal in height and width and dimensions. When I'm done here, I always just clean up the drainage hole. And I compress the bottom, and that helps so the pots don't crack in the drying process. And the bases don't crack anyway. That's a number 2 stamp. And what I usually do is put the number 4 stamp away so I don't mess up. I'll turn the camera around and show you guys the pots when they're done. But that'll be a while because I gotta make a lot of these things. So yeah, no, sorry. So this is the wooden bat, which is just a piece of wood. We consider it a false bottom. This is the electric wheel. It has 2 knobs here, which you know, coincide with these little holes. And I push it down, and it creates a false bottom. Sometimes, as you can see right here, this is a perfect example. It has a little bit of a warble to it. So to fix that, you just put a little piece of clay on the wheel head on one side, and squeeze her down, and it's pretty much fixed. I tell you, it's pretty strange being in here. We're being so quiet. The shop here actually, when I was young and teenager, was basically my clubhouse. I mean, we'd have parties out here. We'd have my band would always play. We'd have people over, and to be honest with you, I don't think I've hung out here in the nighttime since then. I always, you know, I go home. But being out here at this time of night is reminiscent, to say the least. Except I'm not partying. I always clean up the bat. Like everything clean. Yeah, I cleaned off the inside of this one. Yeah, we're good. This one needs a little more height. This has a bit of a hard piece of clay in here, as you can see, but that's all right. It's just a flower pot, right? Let's mess around with it, try to get it as good as possible. Pretty much fixed. good trick to get clay off your hands if any of you guys are potters out there. You have just a paint bucket with a sharper edge. You just scrape them and get them somewhat clean. Dry enough to pick up a piece of clay without it slipping out of your hands. Yeah, see this clay. You see the little bump there? You guys, I don't know if you can see that. Stuff going on with this clay tonight. When these are dry and fired, they usually end up being basically around 6 inches by 6 inches. Clay shrinks, so they're a little bigger than that right now. But once they're fired, they will end up being about 6 inches by 6 inches usually. And of course, because I'm making these by hand, each one's going to be a little bit different, obviously, as you guys can tell. But that's the fun of pottery. Do we have any aspiring potters in the chat? Actually, I haven't even checked the chat over here. No comment. If there's any aspiring potters in the chat, let me know. Oh, me. Somebody wrote me. Rem Mary 100. You. Awesome. Never give up. That's the whole thing. And I was going to say before, because I didn't know if there was any aspiring potters in there. You can see that once in a while there'll be something that is probably irritating your eyeballs, like something went wrong. That's the biggest problem with making pottery, is that you're never finished. And it's like with painting, you know how many canvases have probably been painted over that were masterpieces, and they just thought it was bad and they got rid of it. And I would just keep going. Make it, put it off to the side. If you don't like it, you might like it later on. And it really just teaches you to be able to get, something out and be done. Because a pot, really, it's just a pot in the end, but it can never be finished in some potters' minds, and in my mind too. Like, that's what my holdup was. I always knew that or thought that, nope, that can be better, that can be worse, but your dad is such a master. How did you decide to follow in his footsteps? Well, his footsteps are pigeon-toed and they go off a cliff. No, I'm kidding. It's tough because I don't even really remember the first time I made pots. I was making pots as a child, so really, I always, at some point, was always making pottery. So I don't really remember a time I didn't, but at the same time, to turn it into, a job, what I was doing was making pots, and we had a clay mixer and a plug mill. So I'd make a pot, we'd cut it, and we'd throw it back in the clay mixer. You just forgot about it. You didn't care. It was done. Good or bad. We'd be like, okay, this is a little warbly, has a warble to it. This one has it's a little bit too tall or too thin at the top, or whatever it was. This one's perfect. Doesn't matter. We break it down, we threw it back in the plug, and just do that over and over and over and over again. And then I forgot when it was. I think it was probably 13, 14, something like that. He didn't tell me. He usually just threw them back when he was going to make another batch, and he kept them. And he put them up for sale. And because I spent the weekends with my dad, I came the next weekend. He said, hey, those pots, I have some money for you. He sold them. And I was like, wow, okay, somebody was interested in it. And, obviously, that helps when, at that point in my life, I was milking cows every day. So, let me see, what does this say? I can watch you do this all day. It's so relaxing. I just wonder how it smells. Well, this clay actually, it doesn't have a strong odor to it. What does smell from time to time is the bucket of slop that you see me put that right here. That actually can develop a foul odor over time. But the clay itself, actually the clay smells a little different. This is a stoneware clay body. And I can't really put words to how it smells because I've just been so used to it. But I know the red clay has almost like a sweeter smell, which is strange. But I know it's red. that just means it has iron in it, and it's a earthenware. But I can definitely tell if I walked into a room blindfolded what clay body is being thrown in the room. At least with stoneware and terracotta. I remember when Martha Stewart visited your dad. Oh yeah, she's such a good friend to both of us, and lucky, I don't even know how many times we both have been featured, either on her shows or in her magazines or website, or she's always plugging me on Instagram and all the stuff she does. She's so awesome. I remember she came in, well, she had her gardener come in at the time and said that she wanted her whole greenhouse in Ben's Gray. And that, I think, was 1999. And at that point, I had stopped milking cows, and I was, I think, either working for a mason, or no, I think I was working for a painter or a carpenter at that point. And I was like, wow, okay, so I'm going to do this. And then it turned into, yeah, my 20 hours I was putting in on the weekend started to, after that, it started to rival the 40-hour work week. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do 60 hours a week doing this and see where that leads us. And I never looked back. But I do have to say, Martha is just awesome. She's the nicest lady. And to be honest with you, I know I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for her. I cannot thank her enough. Yeah. Oh, look who is in the chat. Nice looking shop. Guy Wolff. My dad, like I said earlier, he isn't here. So when the cat's away, the mice will play. How does it look, Dad? That's so funny. Are you watching this from my Christmas present that I gave you? It's funny. And you were just talking about my dad in the chat there, so there he is. I'm glad you're using that the iPad there, Dad. I know there's no TV probably where you're at right now, so. Don't worry, Dad. I'm not having a party out here like I used to. Yeah, that's too funny. I should have set up a band in the other room and went live with my buddies playing rock music. And went live. So when you came on, we were playing. Did you end up using the plug bill to get the clay softer? No, I didn't use the plug bill. Though I don't know what a plug bill is, but yes. No, I didn't use the plug mill. I didn't because I said I was going to go on at 9:30 on my Instagram page and everything, and then I was a little late to do so, so I just started wedging this very bumpy, obviously you can tell, clay, but it is what it is. I haven't messed up live yet. You gotta have soft hands working with clay. Yes, very much so. Yeah, when I shake people's hands, I have this feeling that they don't think I work. Because my hands are smoother than anything. The clay, you know, especially this clay has, you know, small grits of sand in it. So it's kind of like you're using, you know, wrapping your hands around sandpaper all day. Which, in turn, gets rid of calluses. Makes your hands very soft. If your hands sweat, that goes away quick. Being a potter is hard work. I bet your dad is proud of you. Oh, yes, I am, he writes. Oh, well, that's so nice to hear. That's a first. No, I'm kidding. I'm proud to be my dad's son. There you go. How about that? It's so fun to be able to be making pots for a living and to be, you know, I spend half my time, I don't know about half my time, but I spend about, what is it, 20, 30 hours here a week. So getting time to hang out with him has been a blast. We just make each other laugh the whole time. Unfortunately, we have to work if we're going to be able to hang out together. So it just works out perfectly that I'm a potter, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to hang out. So it's awesome working with him. You hear that bubble pops if you're still watching? It's not like that the guy we watch on YouTube and Instagram, Gabriel Nichols. He uses wild clay in England, and whenever he's using a rib, it goes ding, 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 ding. There's like little pieces of rock stuck in his clay. So, but I'm sure my dad can hear what's going on here. For some reason, this batch is completely different, and it has some hard and some soft clay mixed together, so it's been a little bit strange working through today. I don't know if you weren't in the chat before there, Dad. It's I have to say, it's quite interesting being in this building with it so quiet. It's reminiscent of my youth, and I'm quite enjoying it. So you are more than welcome to take off more often. No, I'm kidding. It is so nice out here. You can hear a little bit of crickets. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the mic, probably not. But it's dead silent here. Like I said, usually we have loud music going, a lot of jokes being said, a lot of noises happening, a lot of customers coming in and out. So it's quite enjoyable. Guy Wolf, I was working reclaimed clay today. It was a bear to throw. I bet. And there's no plug up there. So you had to wedge and wedge and wedge and wedge and wedge. And then get it on the wheel and wedge it while it was on the wheel. It says, okay, I'm going to sleep. Enjoy yourself, and I will see you soon. Well, have a good night there, Father. Sleep tight. And yes, I will hopefully see you tomorrow when you return. Hopefully I'm still not on the wheel by the time you get back. Actually, I probably will be on the wheel when you get back. So have a good night. Sleep tight. I think I have 2 more, and then I'm going to have to wedge out some more pieces before I throw them. I had a bunch wedged out, ready to be thrown before I started this. And I've already burned through them all. Just gonna have to, in between every pot, he'll have to be like half a minute or so, just to get a piece of clay ready. See, like this would annoy me. Gotta fix that. There's little bits. Just like that, cleaned it up. Yep. There's another one with really hard bits of clay. I don't know what's going on here. Luckily, well, not luckily, but when I was younger, I used my dad's pug mill, or clay mixer and pug mill, and he has a pug mill probably from the 70s. It's made out of iron, and well, the clay mixer too. So, so pieces would fall apart while we mixed our clay and made our clay up from bagged clay, which is just a powder mix. But we would find bits of metal in the clay as we were throwing, and I'd have to stop the wheel and have to dig out a piece of metal, pull it aside, and then try to keep throwing through the pot to finally finish the piece. So whenever there's just a small bump of harder clay or something that falls into it while I'm doing it, I'm already I was so used to working with it when I was younger that it kind of just doesn't even faze me anymore. Or I don't know what the correct word is, but it doesn't scare me. You know, usually if you see something or feel something, some people just give up right then and there, and it's like, no, I'm not going to give up. But I'll show you with this one. You might be able to see it. See, there's that little bump in there. That's a little hard piece of clay, which should not be in there, but it is. You ever check this out too? So because they're made on bats, it connects to the bat so well that you can flip it over. So this is always a fun little trick. And it would be fine until it dried, and it doesn't really deform the pot all that much. If it ever does, you just shake it back a little bit and you're good. All right, one more to go, and then I have to move all the pots that I just made here and then just wedge a few pieces out. Hope everybody's enjoying their night here on Wolff Pottery YouTube. If you don't mind, hit the like button and leave a comment. Maybe it'll go out to more people in the YouTube world. It's always fun to be doing this live. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, you kind of do. I'm going to make a flower pot. Do you glaze your work? Not my flower pots, but no. And basically, I think I might have mentioned this earlier. I sell to about 36 stores, and it's all for flower or garden shops and this and that. So pretty much everything I'm making is planters. You know, it's pretty much what I do. But once in a while, I will break away and do stuff that I really enjoy doing, like vases or, you know, bowls and mugs and stuff like that, which I haven't done in a while, but when I do, I have a blast doing it. So I do glaze some stuff once in a while, but because these are flower pots, we want them to be porous. We do fire them hotter than normal, but they still have a good porosity rate, so it's not just, you know, it doesn't overwater the soil, you know, the soil doesn't stay too overwatered and mold the plants. You know, you want them to be, you want the pot to be porous for, at least in New England, and maybe in the desert, you might want to have your stuff glazed so it holds the water, but I could see that frying the root ball. But yeah, I wish I had more time for glaze work, because I do love it, and my wife loves it, and she's really good at making things too. So we always are going, when are we gonna get a chance to do some glaze work? I am definitely enjoying this. Oh, thanks so much for the kind words. I'm glad you're checking this out. And I'm not done yet. I don't even know. Let me look up. Finally looked up and see what I did here. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pots so far. Okay. All right. I didn't know I did that many. But I do have to, for this next batch, I have to move some of these pots, and I have to wedge some clay real quick, which I don't think you will be able to see on camera. So it's going to be a let's go out to the lobby moment for you guys, so sorry about that. It's an old reference if ever anybody even got that in here. Thanks for sharing. Oh, well, thank you for watching. I love watching other potters and always learn something new. Yeah, no, that's the thing about learning. Like, you you can learn from just one person or this and that, but learning from a multitude, and especially here on YouTube, there are so many awesome potters to check out, and you know, people with tips and tricks and this and that, and just fun things. And that's the thing about pottery, is that you're never done learning. You're always going to learn something new, and not just from people. The clay seriously teaches you a lot of what you need to know. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but just doing something 1,000 times teaches you how to really do that thing. So I'm gonna just let this spin for a second while I wedge a few pieces of clay out so I can keep throwing. And I'm so sorry you're gonna hear some banging and whatnot, but I'm not getting off of here, and I will be right back. So, but thank you guys for watching, and like I said, I'll be right back. All right, got 5 more pieces ready to go here. Sorry about the intermission. At this point, I think every 5 pots I'm gonna have to take a intermission just so I can wedge some more. Plus, it's getting pretty hot out here. I don't know what the temperature is where everybody is that's watching, but it is hot in Connecticut tonight. Poland Spring. My go-to on a Saturday night, no less. All right, we're back at it. Have you ever forgotten to stamp a pot? I think I have. Yeah, no, I definitely have. I've forgotten to stamp a pot. I've stamped a pot with my name upside down. I've, for each pot, I kind of have a specific place that I put the name as well. So I have made a bunch of pots, when I was making specific things. The line would be down here, and I usually had the name, and I put the line down here, and I put the name up there, and it'd be like, what are you doing? And you don't realize it until later when it's too hard to change it. Because if I wanted to change this right now, I could just re-rib the whole thing out. And because these aren't thin like mugs or vases, I have a little bit of clay to mess around with, so I'd be able to fix it. But if I don't catch it, yeah, that's it's happened before. But yeah, I don't think I've done it tonight yet, though. That would be pretty funny. You guys like seeing me just stamp my name upside down the whole time? I gotta just have to stamp or put all these pots that I just made here onto a board. So I will be off screen for a second. But yes, that would be really funny if I stamp like half of these upside down. Okay, just gonna grab this one. All right. Sorry about the delay. Maybe when I'm done with all 20 of these, I'll give you guys a quick tour of the store. I'll take the camera with me, and we can go about and go check out what's in the shop right now. I did just make a video today, and I haven't published it. I was going to do that at a later date of what the showroom and everything looks like at the moment, but if that's something you guys would want to see, let me know in the comments. Okay, yeah, see how this one has a bit of a change to it. I gotta fix that before we go any further. There we go. The thing about flower pots is they stack together because there's no glaze. So the trick is to get the pot to be angled out, but also have a little bit of a room so I can stack them correctly and make a nice solid stack. Of course, would love a tour of the shop. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'll do that after I'm done throwing. I think I haven't really counted where I'm at, so. But I should, because this is for a specific order, and I don't need to make too many of these. I need 20 of this size and 4 of the number 4s, which I took care of in the beginning, so I will count soon here. The problem with production pottery is if you get a number in your head and you count down, it can drive you crazy. So I wouldn't even count. Just go, then look back over your shoulder and see where you're at. That way you can surprise yourself when you're almost there, and either way, I'm having fun doing it, so I don't really care. I'll just keep making these, but because I need a specific amount for this customer, I don't really need to make any extra of them. And that's mainly because I don't sell the pots that I sell to stores myself on my website or in the shop here. I want the stores to have something specific that I do not have. That way they feel like, it's something different. So, and when you come here to Bantam, where I'm throwing right now, which is in Bantam, Connecticut, the shop's located at 1249 Bantam Road, in Bantam, Connecticut 06750. And when you come here, the stuff that I make, it's one-of-a-kind stuff for just the shop, not even my website. My website has its own stuff, the shop has its own stuff, and the stores that all carry my pots have their own thing. So, yeah, so it's fun. It's confusing, but fun. The difference about making pots here in my dad's shop is the temperature, the humidity, kind of open to the elements here. So, and he's hard of seeing, so he's got a lot of lights, which definitely creates more heat. I mainly throw, well, I don't know if it's mainly at this point, but at least half or a little more than half of my time I throw my house, which I'm actually throwing downstairs in my basement. And it's nice and cool down there in the summer. It can be humid, but you run a dehumidifier, run some fans, and it stays a very good temperature. Throwing here, it gets hot, and then of course my dad has 3 kilns in the same room as the making. We don't have any kilns on right now, but so there's moments when this room is at least in the 90s. Right now it's probably in the mid 80s and high humidity, so which affects the drying of the pots too. So for anybody that's watching that is making pottery, it really depends on what room and what humidity level you're at. This is basically the hardest time of year to dry pots out in a situation like I'm in at the moment in this room. I can always dry them out in my basement, which I do, and because it's controlled environment. Dehumidifiers, fans, etc. See, see that? That's a little air bubble. I don't like it. I'm gonna fix that. Yep. One more, then I'm gonna have to wedge some more. Should probably count first, but I'm gonna wedge some more. Why is that wheel making that noise? So for a wheel, I use the RK Whisperer made by Shimpo. I believe Shimpo was just bought out by a company and I don't know the pronunciation of its name, but this wheel, I mean, listen to that. It's old wheel. My dad has an old wheel over there, and my first wheel I had, it sounded like just grinding. Sounded like a grinder wheel, like grinding up some stone or steel at all times. So when I first got my arcade whisperer, my dad was like, "Whoa, what is that wheel?" Because he couldn't hear anything. And I was like, because it's so nice to have a nice quiet wheel. If you notice that noise that when I'm throwing or pulling up with my rib, it's because my rib has a little cutaway at the bottom to make that foot, so I can't lift it off of the bat. So if you're hearing a grinding noise, that's literally my rib grinding away at the wooden bat. I have to leave it there, otherwise it wouldn't work. I destroy the pot as it came up if I move the rib up. All right, it's time to wedge out some more clay. I just wedged out 5, did 5, and I'm gonna do something like 5 more here. So gonna have a let's go out to the lobby moment one more time here. What? I only need 2 more? Okay. Didn't know I went through all of the 20 pots that I needed to do. I only need to make 2 more. So 2 more it is. I seriously thought I had at least 6 more, but like I said before, don't count, just keep going, and then when you look back, sometimes you get surprised. Plus, I'm having so much fun with you guys on here tonight. I appreciate everybody watching that has come in and made comments, and everybody that was hit the like button. That's really nice to see. And yeah, sometimes I go live on Instagram. On my Instagram, I'm at Wolff Pottery on Instagram as well. And it's so funny to see how many people come into the live feeds on there. So I'm going to try to do some more on here because I really enjoy YouTube. So I'm going to start doing more live feeds. And whoever it was mentioned, if I ever stamp my name upside down, maybe you'll catch a moment when I mess up the pot completely and it goes flying off the wheel or something. Which only happens very rarely at this point, but it does occur from time to time. Still so shocked at how quiet it is out here. Super nice. Super hot, but super nice. All right, 1, 2, 3. It's 10, 16, 19, 20. All right, double count here. So after this pot here, I'll turn some lights on in the shop. Give you a walk around of what's in the shop. Oh, I've been staring hard at my 70-inch screen. Have seen no pot crumble down, but you do make it look easy, smooth like butter. Well, the potter's saying is that with, after the first few thousand of every shape, it should be easy. And I'm not, it's kind of it sounds arrogant, but it's not. Like, you do something 1,000 times, it better be easy, because, or easier. And no, this isn't completely easy. I mean, you can see the whiteness in my knuckles. Like, that's, well, I just touched it and made it white, but my hands are starting to hurt. I did make pots earlier, and I did have a full work day before I did all this, so maybe that's it. But certain times of night, you can see it right there. The hands are starting to even discolor a little bit. That means I'm probably getting a little dehydrated from doing too much, but that's all right. I'm 43. What am I supposed to do? Keep going, right? That's the thing. If you're throwing pots, don't give up. Just keep doing it. And then somebody will tell you someday that you're making it look easy, and it feels really good. It feels really good that you think I make it look easy, because it isn't. I mean, there's so much that's gone into this. I've been throwing since I was a child, basically, but for a living, I've been doing, I've been selling to stores since I was 16, so, oh my goodness, it's been that long already. Wow. That's insane, actually. I'm starting to think about the math on it. And what normal careers are usually 30 years? Yikes. It's coming up. But I love what I do. And I hope everybody that's watching loves what they do when they work. And to be honest with you, I don't have a 75-inch screen, but I would love to see what it looked like on a 75-inch screen. Hopefully it's clear. Is it coming in clear for you? Okay, so that's number 20. That's the 20th number 2. See, I got all these numbers going on. That's the 20th pounder that I needed to be made for this order. And this is a good stopping place because tomorrow I have to make some number 10 pots, which are 10 pounds of clay each, which I will be needing to run through my dad's plug mill to accomplish those because the clay needs to be softened up and fixed. I need to make some 6-pounders and all that while running the shop. So, and then I think I guess it'll be Monday. I'll have to make saucers for all these because each one of these needs a saucer to go with it, which is pretty fun. You know what? I'll throw a saucer real quick so you guys can see that too, because it just gives an idea of what the pot looks like when it's done here. So let's do a 1-pound saucer here. Saucers, they can be thrown very quickly as long as you have the right tools. Do I even have my tools? That's hidden. It's hidden under clay. Saucers can be thrown very quickly, but they need to dry very slowly. So, and then once they're done, I need to, put a good sealer on them, and then put the felt pads on them. So they actually take quite a bit of time to get out. But you can check this out. I don't even know. We can even time it. We have a timer. So I'm at 11:02. So let's go. Done. Stamp for my name. There we go. I know that goes with the number 4s, so I have a few number 4s I'm going to need that for. So yeah, saucers go very quickly. But, well, for everybody that was just watching for the flower pots, or for the making, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna do a walk around and show you guys what the shop looks like here. And yeah, no, I appreciate everybody that watched tonight and commented and all that good stuff. So thank you. I appreciate everybody on here. Wow, that was awesome to watch. Oh, the saucer, and well, yeah, they're pretty fun to. I've timed myself before, and I used to have a buddy that came over and would sit there with a stopwatch and time me. So you get good at it quick, and yeah, everybody says slow and steady wins the race, and I do not agree. I think fast and accurate does. But that's just me. All right, so I'm gonna grab I'm recording on one device and I'm looking at the chat in the other. So I'm gonna grab my phone, which I'm recording on, and I'm gonna show you everything in the shop and in the store. So hang on one second here. So yeah, so here's the making room here's the other side of the wheel. Here's some more of the pots that I did. Here's that pot, here's that saucer I made real quick. Sorry if I'm being shaky here. And then here's all the pots that I just made. There's some of them, and there are some of them. Let's get a good view from over here. And somebody just beeped here, so I think they know I'm here. That's too funny. So yeah, so here is the making room. Here are some of our kilns, my dad's kilns more so, and he's got 2 scuts and 1 L&L. They're all about the same size, about 10 cubic feet. They all 3 go up to cone 8. But we only fire up to about 2008 degrees or so. But here's a look from, I'm gonna go up with my long arms to show you. So the front wheel is the wheel that my dad throws on. And obviously the wheel that I was throwing on the back is the one I throw on. And then my stepmom throws on this perfectly clean wheel. She cleans up insanely good. And she's a great thrower. So it's always, it's fun to, that was a floorboard squeaking. That wasn't me passing gas, just for letting all you to know. Anyway, let's go into the showroom here. So here's the white pots. Check out all the white pots. This is insane. We have tons of white pots available right now. A lot of these are what my dad and my stepmom has made here. This whole shelf over here is all stuff that I've made. Oh, let me turn on this light. That'll help. I got some nice sign that my friend Rajiv Surendra made me. Who's awesome. He's on YouTube here with some really cool channel. He was actually up not too long ago, and he made a couple pots that are in here as well. So here's these pots actually take forever to do because I have to. You see those lines in them? I do that by hand, so you'll be able to see them in the gray color that I do when I get over to that side. But yeah, let me go over this way. I'll show you the look from over there while I turn on the light. All right. And then, so here's some orchid pots I made. Orchid pots love to have the air, so the holes and the roots come flying out of them, which is really cool. So yeah, this gray has been my most popular thing that I do. And then let's go over here. So we got some redware that my dad makes. So here's some glaze stuff for somebody who's asking about glaze stuff. My dad does do glaze stuff. He makes some redware, some traditional stuff. Here's some red pots in the Georgian shape, which I realize I have to put some pots back there to make it look full again. Some stuff sold today. Here's some of my gray stuff. So those are the pots that were over on the other side. They have like this faceted look to them. I use my finger and drag it up the side of the pot when it's wet, and it creates that look. So, and then over here, I have some more gray stuff. A lot of gray going on here. Got gray pots going all the way up the stairs. My wife and I have actually been, here's a whole bunch of saucers. These are gray ones. I ran out of white ones. I only have those tiny ones left. My wife and I have been making some concrete stuff as well as, of course, you know, we're gluttons for punishment apparently, because, you know, we've been joking that, you know, oh yeah, with our extra time, let's make some concrete stuff, as if we needed to lift anything heavier than what we do already all day. But look how cool they came out. I think they're great. I think they'd look great in maybe more of a city application or just a modern home in itself. And majority of these have drainage holes, so they're all planters, of course, but you can also obviously use them for anything else. But yeah, here's some more of the gray pots. Here's a nice scallop rim I do. Oh, check out this. This is, my wife did this. Corinne did this. It's a hand build. I think it was 192 little bricks she put together. She cut perfectly the right size and then put them all together. So pretty amazing. There's a little rabbit made out of concrete that I like to mix in. And Yeah. I gotta learn to not say all the time, right? Here's some medieval pots my dad makes. These are some really cool. Here we go, again. Yep, it's that time of night. A lot of ums coming out. Here's some more. These are votives for holding votive candles. And some coasters. So here's some beautiful stoneware. Look at this stuff. This is very nice stoneware. And my half sister Elizabeth did the decorations on there. My dad made the pots on these ones. I think my stepmom made the pots in these, and my half sister did the decorations. I'm pretty sure. And here's some more glaze. So for whoever was asking, yeah, there's some glaze stuff in the shop, but I just haven't had time to do any. Oh yeah, check out these. These are some new concrete items that so I think my wife has been making all these. I haven't made any of these. I kind of did all the small stuff, and she did all the big heavy stuff, of course. But here's some stuff on the bottom. Anyway, I'll go back into the making room real quick before we sign off here. But I really want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time on here, answering questions and having a good time. Just literally working in this building at night, man. But that was just so cool. So I didn't see any. Wow, that was awesome to watch. Okay, yep. Anyway, very cool. Thank you again. If you don't mind, like I said, hit the like and subscribe button if you're interested. And thank you. I do appreciate everybody on here. I hope everybody has a good night. Stay cool wherever you are. It's really hot here. And until the next time, take care.